Hello guys, more tub talks from me, TSW girl. I just made another milestone and I'm like 5 days into month 7. Woo! Finished month 6, so that's pretty crazy. It's been over half a year of this. It does not feel like a half a year has passed. Like, my memory of a lot of what's gone on is just gone. And that's really weird for me because I've always had a really good memory, and like my family tells me, oh, you've got such a good memory, and that memory is important to me, but it's just gone. It feels like it's the past 5 months have been, or 6 months, have been a really just long, crappy week, and that just keeps dragging on. But a half a year, like everybody else in my life is learning and growing and moving and changing, and I'm still sitting in a tub, so it's just really wild. Month 6 recap. It was different than I guess I was hoping and expecting month 6 would go. I mean, that's kind of the story for every single month, where I think I'm gonna have like all kinds of progress, and it's bumpy. So month 6, definitely name of the game is healing, as the name of the game is always here. And looking at pictures from 2 months ago, I have experienced a lot of healing. I think a lot of swelling has gone down, but month 6 was really hard emotionally for me, just still being in the tub for a long time. I started the month being in the tub pretty regularly, like 5 to 6 hours a day, and I finished the month pretty regularly, around 4 hours a day. So that's great. I shaved off a lot of tub time in there and have a few more comfortable hours in the day. And I was able to end the month with more sunshine outside, and that's good. I did push it too far one day because I was like, I want to get better now, and was out in the sun for like, I don't know, 1.5, 2 hours, and came inside and my entire body was on fire. It was so bad. So it wasn't like I got sunburnt because the redness was gone the next day, but I just had raised rashes all over my body. It was just bright red, and so I went in the bath and it felt like lowering myself into acid. It was so bad. So sun is great. I'm still going out and getting sun. Just make sure that you kind of wean yourself back onto sunshine and don't just go hog wild like I did. That was not the best. It was really, really awful. But anyway, it's been healing, and one big huge thing that has helped me this month is reconciling myself to the fact that I still can't do a ton. And that sounds like a downer, but just accepting where you are as far as sickness is going to be mentally and emotionally really helpful for you if you have a personality like mine, where it's just like, I'm not going to accept where I am, and I'm going to keep pushing through, and I'm going to try and do more than I'm able just to prove that I'm not as sick as other people I see online or something, like I'm going to have a faster recovery. But that was really like detrimental to me, trying to push through too much. So a few weeks, or several weeks in the month, I just was not eating enough because I couldn't drag myself downstairs. I was just way too in pain and itchy to be able to function and like get myself food out of the fridge. So I had lost like 10% of my body weight in January, and then I gained some of it back, but I lost back again down to like 10% of my body weight like a couple weeks ago. So anyway, I've got a mini fridge up right outside my bathroom now, so when I like refill my tub and change the water, I can go and grab some food, and that has been a lifesaver. It's been so nice that like I'm not just starving all day because I'm super hungry, but not feeling well enough to go downstairs and try and deal with that. And it's been great for my husband that he doesn't have to be my little serving wench and be at my beck and call, that I can just be more independent. So that's been emotionally great to be more independent and be able to kind of do my own thing and have a little bit more control over my diet. And my mom has been making me food and stocking my fridge with it like weekly, so that I've got a bunch of fresh healing things to eat. And even just within like a week and a half of that happening, 2 weeks, whatever it's been now, I really feel like my healing has turned a corner in a really positive way. So continue to be gentle and patient with yourself as much as you can. I really had a hard time reconciling myself this past month to the amount of support that I needed and asking for that support and just feeling like I'm alone in a bathtub for 6 hours a day. So you don't need to do that. Ask for help and continue to communicate with your support system. Mine is my mom and my husband very much, and my dad comes by sometimes too and helps out. So it's hard on your support system too. I know that my mom and my husband were struggling in the month as well, just figuring out how they could best help me and like kind of fighting off some of their own personal demons too. So keep communicating with people, and yeah, keep staying fed and getting proper nutrition. As far as my skin health is gone, I've gotten less oozy, definitely, and that's slowly tapering down to nothing. I still have oozy spots on my chin and then this clown nose here that you can't see because I'm in the bath. But just the tip of my nose and my boobs ooze a lot, but those are just kind of the targeted areas, and it's getting a lot better overall, so that's great. The skin texture continues to get better, where I've got just smoother skin than I did at the beginning of the month by far, and my skin's starting to feel more like skin, which is great. I still have gotten like hives a few times, and that one time I was out in the sun, I've had those super crazy, super raised red angry rashes, but overall it hasn't been super rashy, it's just been pretty dry. So I don't know if that's super accurate. I mean, the rashes are getting better. There are definitely still a lot of rashes, but it's not the super insane, like super raised, super rough, super insanely itchy rashes. So all good progress. My hands, I think, are finally starting to heal up a little bit, which is exciting. I had super deep grooves, and I still have deep grooves in my the bottoms of my fingers, but they used to be so deep and so much worse. And so those have just started healing up in the last like 2 weeks, which is great. Great to see any kind of progress with my hands, because I'm still just really inhibited with what I can do with them, but I'm slowly starting to gain a little bit more use of my hands without having them just completely flare up and have me be debilitated with itching and oozing and all that. So my hands will still ooze if I like wring them like this. Like sometimes that feels so good to itch my hands just by doing this, but then it like forces out a bunch of ooze, and that's terrible. So I've still been having issues with eyesight. Overall, it's tons better than it was like December through, I mean, even December was okay, but maybe not, I don't even remember. December through March, it was like terrible. I couldn't see all the time. I've just had a few, I don't know, overall like days sprinkled in through the month where I haven't been able to see well for a few days repeatedly, and that is still super frustrating. I've got, like, you can see a few cracks around my eyes here and around here that really kind of stink, and they'll pull the skin on my eyes so that I can't see well and can't read things, and it comes in varying degrees of intensity, but that's been kind of annoying. I feel like this past month my body was just trying to force out all kinds of stuff. Not to be TMI, but I've always had huge tonsils, and my doctor, any doctor that I would go to, if they checked inside of my mouth, would be like, oh wow, you've got such big tonsils. And after like 15, 20 years of hearing that, it's like, yeah, I know, thanks, haha, every doctor says that, I've got huge tonsils. But this past month, so much junk has been coming out of my tonsils, it's insane. And they are so much smaller and smoother than they previously have been, it's crazy. And another really positive thing is, I don't know, like 2-3 days ago, I was laying outside in the sun for my daily little sun bath, and I was sweating like crazy. And that means absolutely nothing to you because you don't know, like my entire life, I've never been able to sweat. Like I'll work out and I'll get super hot. Like if it's just a hot day and I'm outside, I just don't sweat. And it's been like really hard for me because I'm super heat intolerant and I just get super woozy if I'm at all hot. But I was able to be outside and just sweat like a pig. It was nuts. So I think that's great, and that means that my body is kind of starting to turn more into a normal body and be able to try and regulate temperature better and just get stuff out of my skin. So that's been great. I'm still growing hair around. It's not as dramatic as I would like it to be, but I'm getting leg hair back. I've got a few little babies. My head's still growing back, but I've still got a lot of bald spots that are coming back. But I had something else. I have still been having regular periods, which is insane for me. Like my literal entire life, I got my period super late. I was like 16 when I got my first period, and for my entire life it's been like going 3 months, 4 months, sometimes 2 months without a period. And throughout TSW, I have been totally regular, and I really don't think that's a coincidence anymore. It's totally nuts. I have noticed that my hormones do kind of affect my skin. I'll be interested to see this month if that pattern still plays out, but like before my period, my skin definitely gets worse. My lymph nodes are still huge and are still kind of making my lower pelvic area cramp terribly, so I can't get cold, otherwise I still cramp up. But it's nice it's summer now, I don't really get cold, and that's great. Wish the lymph nodes would go down though. Sometimes they just kind of cramp up at night, and that's just really painful and frustrating. I've got like 3 big ones on my right side and like 2 big ones on my left side, right where my like hip joints meet my trunk. So it'd be great if those can go down. Sleep has still been fugitive. It's getting better though, like it's less painful to sleep in general. It's been really itchy lately sleeping, and like I can itch now that my skin is like thicker and stronger, so it's not like terrifying like it was itching before in month number 2 or whatever. So I'm just itching the tar out of my skin all the time when I even sleep. So my sleep quality isn't great. I've still been going through tons of wetness pads every night, trying to just keep the wetness out of my bed, but I think that is slowly getting better. I'm slowly losing less fluid at night, which is super awesome. So my current sleep schedule is kind of what my past sleep schedule has been, where I'll go to bed and I'll be asleep for maybe like 1.5, 2 hours, wake up, itch like crazy, put lotion on for maybe an hour, 45 minutes, go back to sleep for about 2 hours, and just keep doing that all night. So anyway, I get about 2 hours of sleep at a time. I have been getting some decent sleep in the morning though, like after 6 in the morning. Usually I'm able to get about like 4 hours of sleep until 10, and then I just don't let myself sleep too much later than like 10:30 a.m. But I get my best sleep around then, which I don't know why. Let me know if you guys have like times where you have good sleep. I don't know if it's hormonally related or not either, with just how your body repairs itself. So lots of positive things this past month. I'm looking forward to hopefully continuing to heal quicker now that I'm able to feed myself more regularly and to get better nutrition, and I'm still taking walks every day, which is just lovely to be outside, and I think it's so good to still continue to keep moving. So for month number 6 for you guys, I would just recommend keep moving, get in the sun, not too much, and just stay comfortable. I haven't been having to moisturize quite so much, but I still am definitely moisturizing. I love shea butter. We've got a shea butter and castor oil mix that feels really good on my skin. So been doing that, and yeah, just stay comfortable, hang in there, and I still have about 6 hours of good life outside of the tub per day, which is really great and something I could have only dreamed of like 3 or 4 months ago. So we're getting better, hanging in there, and hopefully month 7 has all the wonderful, miraculous things I'm hoping it it won't though. But I can't wait to see what this month holds.